Hello, everybody. You're listening to Profoundish. Pretty soon, I'll be joined by Weston as we talk about video game genres and how they evolved over the years. And then after that, we'll be playing this fun little game where we take bits and pieces from various games and put them together to make brand new games. I even have this moment of weakness during the game where I fall into a pit of despair, and Weston heroically pulls me out. Because that's what friends do. Okay, let's go. This is Profoundish. I kind of discovered about myself that I really enjoy the tinkering. Sometimes more than actually getting down to brass tacks and doing the work, I just like to tinker. Do you like to do that? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I 100% believe that about you. I 100% believe that you're like, I'm an audiophile. I just want to mess with the audio equipment. I just want to play with it. Whereas me, I'm like, I'm not an audiophile. I'm like, I just want the frickin' thing to record me. You know?
But tell me this. Okay, so I like to tinker with all kinds of things, though, not just the audio. You know, so I'll do different like setups, but you know, like I always have this hankering to just redo the whole studio. I mean, sometimes, I ended up not doing it because it takes so much time, but every once in a while I'll move a few things around and plug things in different places, and just to try and get be efficient and get the most optimal like setup. But then when I'm done doing all of that stuff, a lot of the time I'm like, now that it's more efficient to do X, Y, and Z, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Like, the pleasure I got was almost just out of setting it up. Like, I've noticed that about myself.
I love to tinker with some things. Audio is just never one of them.
Yeah.
Like, I like messing with the visual layout of many different things. I like messing with I don't know what else to call it other than like the organizational structure of how like I keep files and stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff, organization, setup, blah, 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 that I like to mess with, but it's never audio. Audio, I'm like, can I just please plug the frickin' microphone in and it just do whatever I want?
And I'm over here like, okay, what's the best microphone to use for this application? What can I do? What's the cardioid pattern on this microphone?
Well, that's the thing, right? With audio, because we both do podcasts separately from this one. We both do this podcast, and we both do content that records or involves audio. You do music, which I feel like is extremely important to have the right microphone. Like I understand the need or want to get audio correct. I completely understand it 100%. I don't want to care.
Well, once again, technology or like, you know, tech has come such a long way with that, is that, like now, for the most part, it can be plug and play if you want it to be. You get that USB mic, you're good to go. You might have to do some tweaking here and there, and that's it, which is awesome. And now, I don't even know if you know this. This is not a sponsor. However, I do want to bring them up. Adobe. Do you know about this audio enhancer?
Not specifically.
Okay.
What are they doing?
So I follow, well, of course you don't, because I follow all these audiophile pages on TikTok, and that's how I found out. So somebody said, have you guys checked this out? And what it is, it's a mixture of, and it's free right now. I bet you, I'm saying right now, because this is way too good to be free forever. But Audio has this thing, and you can Google it, just called Adobe Audio Enhancer. You plug in any audio in an untreated room, or a poor microphone, or no microphone at all, like you're just recording with whatever device you have. And what it does, it's a mixture of two things. It enhances audio, but it also has some AI tech in there. So it helps assume what your voice sounds like, and puts that in places where maybe... Okay, so let me explain it this way. So when you're editing audio, and you're like trying to cut out room noise, a lot of the times that room noise you want to cut out, because you don't want to hear that, you want it to be dry. When you cut out room noise, that's a very important frequency that you need. So if you cut that out, it's going to cut out pieces of your actual voice because it shares some frequencies as the room noise.
Right.
So you're pretty much like compromising. Now there's no room noise, but now your voice sounds really bad.
Correct.
This fixes that. And so it sounds like you're talking into like, for the audio guys out there, well, you might even know, do you know the SM7B, that microphone? Does that sound familiar?
Not by that name, no.
Well, I don't even know why I'm asking. Like you've already said, I just plug it in and go. Well, I only say that because it's like it's like every podcaster uses the mic.
Okay.
It's what I use. It's a Shure SM7B.
I know Shure as a brand. I know Shure. I don't know all the like different, models.
So they're one of their most popular microphones
Yeah.
is the one I'm using, which is the SM7B. So if you see like video podcasts, it's the long black microphone that everyone talks into. It's universal almost. Anyway, that being said, that audio enhancer sounds like an SM7B, and it's incredible. It's got a lot of warmth to it. And you could be sitting there talking in an office room with no sound treatment, like 10 feet away from the recording source, and you plug it into that enhancer, and it sounds like you're listening to me right now. It is crazy how good it is. Anyway, just wanted to throw Adobe Audio Enhancer.
That just brings me back to like AI technology is going to completely change how we do everything now. Like it's using AI to do that, right? To like fill in the gaps. Again, I always liken it back to like Photoshop AI, where you can use its technology to like remove a person from the background, right? It's the exact same idea, but now with audio, right? We're going to remove the idea that you're in a badly soundproofed room with a badly sounding mic, and we're going to pretend you're in a good mic. We're going to change the frequency of your voice to XYZ, because really that can be converted to ones and zeros, and we're going to make it sound like you're amazing, but you're not. Like, that's what it sounds like, and AI is going to change so much.
And it already is, and it's funny, because in the audio landscape, it's weird, because I feel like it's really crucial, but the way that I want to look at it personally for my applications is I would much rather use it as an enhancer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's still this is the age-old conversation, but there's something special about the human element. You can, there's similar things with, this isn't AI necessarily, but like a lot of music you hear now that's like kind of self-produced has drums, for example, and people purchase these drum packs. So or Easy Drummer. Any audio people out there know what Easy Drummer is. And basically, you just tell it the tempo, you tell it what kind of drums you want, and then it'll just give you a beat for 20 minutes. Then you can just play your music over that. And it sounds real, and it sounds good, but it's so technical and so on the money that it almost kind of has like this uncanny thing going on, Uncanny Valley thing, where it's like you need that, in my opinion at least, musically specifically, that human element. You need those little mistakes to really, at least if that's what you're going for.
To make it not sound like a template.
Correct, exactly. You need that, because, I don't know, it doesn't have to be perfect. So most of our favorite songs on the radio have little human nuancy things in there. And I think there's just something as humans that we can inherently understand and connect with a lot better.
Yeah. That's where I stand with the
really
AI.
Sensitive to that stuff.
Yes, it is. And that's where I stand with the AI technology. It's really good for inspiration and fixing mistakes. But if you rely on it solely, there's going to be some weird thing missing from it.
Speaking of weird things missing, Weston.
Yeah.
You like video games?
I do. I do enjoy myself a video game from time to time.
I was thinking, because I had to pivot because I don't know even how we got here.
Listen, we got here because we were talking about a thing before recording, and then we were talking about a thing after recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
I guess I should say that. Welcome to Profoundish, everybody. Now that we're 10 minutes in, I love these intros, though. I love the ones where we just kind of go and we don't even realize we're recording.
Well, it works because you'll be doing the intro to this before the theme music played. So everyone's already actually been welcomed. But for everybody that's listening right now, like we've just been chatting and we've just arbitrarily started the episode a while ago.
And really, you have no idea, like, Weston and I talk sometimes for an hour, literally an hour, before we even hit record.
Yeah.
we tried to make this commitment, and it's kind of worked, but we got to get back to it where it's like, hey, stop. We got stuff to tell each other, but let's hit record first, because sometimes there's some really funny things that we can share.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. I've noticed that.
Well, it's so hard because sometimes I like, for example, today. Not that we're gonna backtrack and talk about it, but like today we got onto the Discord call and I just went full force into what I've been up to, like literally as of like half an hour ago, and it's like that doesn't fit your theme today, the topic today at all. So
no, but it was fun to listen to. But I always love listening to your stories, man. But today we're talking about not just video games, but more specifically video game genres.
Ooh.
You and I talked about a few weeks ago about doing an episode about the greatest games of all time, and I'm not ready for that conversation yet, although that'll be a fun one when we do.
That will be.
But I thought, I'm currently dabbling with a handful of different games. Game Pass is amazing, so I just can dabble with games all I want. And I started to think about, like, what makes a particular game the genre that it is, because these days so many games are just a group of a bunch of different genres put together, like with their own little elements here and there. I mean, you can still find your broad definition, and I'm still discovering new ones. Like, for example, you got me into Stellaris, which I want to hop back into. I was playing it for like quite a while, and then I just kind of stopped because life. But
sure.
I knew strategy games exist. I've always loved them, but I never thought of the concept of, and I know it's just kind of more almost based on kind of like aesthetics almost, but like the grand strategy of just you're controlling this much stuff. And,
right.
Just in terms of, it's grand. I mean, grand's the perfect word. Like, there's always games that have different elements of different genres that you put together, like playing like a game like Borderlands, for example. It's a shooter, but it's got some like RPG elements in it too, and that's kind of a weird combo. That's just one example of, hundreds, if not thousands of games that just fuse genres together,
Yeah.
I kind of went all over there.
No, you're okay. For a second there, I'm like, what was I supposed to respond to?
I know. I just kind of went off there. I'm just talking genres. You can tell me your favorite genres, maybe, or like if or your take on.
Well, the ones that
just the
like,
weird fusion. Of genres.
the fusion ones that are like especially bad about that are the action and the adventure genres. Those get lumped into just such a wide variety of kinds of games. Where it's like you might be thinking action could be like something like Call of Duty. It could be something like The Last of Us. It could be something like Uncharted. It could action fits so many different kinds of games that it's usually action and then something else. Like you can't just call a game action and have any idea what it's about. You need the extra words. Same thing with adventure. Back in the day, as in like, a couple decades ago, adventure games were pretty much restricted to point and click adventure games where you had to like sort of play a role and you sort of play this like, again, you're just kind of like clicking on things. Whereas as they've evolved into third person sort of adventure games where you're controlling a character in a third person narrative and telling them what to do through a sort of narrative. That's what I was explaining just a second ago. So now action and adventure both have these genres by themselves that don't mean much by themselves, but require another genre to give context to the genres that they're describing. So action adventure but like third person adventure or like FPS action or something like that.
Right. It's true. But you can still hear like, because when I think of the term action adventure, right? Usually, I literally go to your games like your not Nathan Drake. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank right now. Uncharted
Uncharted, yeah.
Or like I think of those games in particular. At least personally, I think of that. I think like Tomb Raider, those kinds of games. Which that's like got a lot of platforming stuff in it. But of course, so does Uncharted for that matter. But anyway, it's just an adventure, but it's got action too.
Right.
But then what I brought up before the recording got kind of weird was as you know, my favorite series is Legend of Zelda, and those are considered action adventure, but those are completely different.
Right.
But it's still like kind of just everybody agrees that is an action adventure game. So there's so many weird lines, but at the same time, we all just kind of accept them. I don't know.
That's where you get a lot of genres that are named after other well-known games. So these days, Souls-like is a genre where it's like it's a game that's like Dark Souls. In previous generations, roguelike is something that you still hear a lot, and that's because it's like the game Rogue, which the game Rogue is so old now that a lot of people have never played Rogue, but like roguelike exists as a genre anyway. So it's really common now to say, instead of picking up a very generic term like action or adventure, it's common now to say X game that we all know because it's popular.
Another big one is Metroidvania.
Yes,
that's a big one.
Yeah,
for that in that universe.
And that's just combining. It's like Metroid and it's like Castlevania. It's a Metroidvania.
That's how you know. That's how you know that, for example, like FromSoft, like really made a splash in the gaming industry when their mechanics for, you know, specifically obviously for like combat and stuff are so like ubiquitous in the space now that, you know, they'll say like it's a Soulsborne or a Souls-like.
Yes.
You know, that's a huge thing. Have you played Elden Ring yet?
I've not played Elden Ring, no. My brother has. We own it. We actually have a PS4 and a PS5. We live together. We have a PS4 and a PS5. I could go play Elden Ring right now. It's on the console, but I just don't console game, so I haven't gone and played it myself yet.
I definitely want to play it. But we digress a little bit. I was going to ask you, so we know genres can be confusing, but they don't always have to be. What do you have some favorite, like if you were to give me your top 3 favorite genres, just kind of vaguely speaking, do you know kind of where you would go?
Oh, that's interesting because if you pick out like the really basic genres, like, you know, action, adventure, strategy, puzzle, you know, those kinds of things, it's really hard to pick out specific ones because so many different games approach those genres differently. Right. If you pick out the specific ones, I like tactics games, which is in the strategy genre. I like tactics. I like I still like third-person platformers. Platformers usually being in the action or the adventure genres. So I like third-person platformers. I like tactics, and I do like 4X, which is in the strategy genre as well, which is like think like Civilization or like
okay. I didn't know that
Crusader
one.
Kings.
4X.
Yeah, it stands. The 4 X's are like exterminate, explore, expand, something else. I forget what the 4 X's are. But the idea is that there's those 4 X's that you do in the game. So think like Civilization or what's the one I said? Kingdom. Paradox has one. Kingdom something or other. I usually think like Civilization or like things like Stellaris. We've played Stellaris before. So those are usually kind of like grand strategy 4X games. Right.
I definitely would have put you in those in those realms. I know you really get into like, or at least in the past, like the tactics kind of style games and stuff like that. I do know that because you've talked about it. I'd say for me, it's kind of all over the place and that's hard to pick. But I guess if I had to, my favorites depends on like the year you'd ask me to. But I guess I've always loved. This would be under the simulation category, I guess. But like the building games, not like the like I love the city building games and the. I don't know, but I don't play them anymore. I'm trying to think out loud really what I actually like the most right now.
I used to think that I loved the city building games because I liked SimCity and SimCity like 3000 back in the day, but the truth is those were like that was it. I didn't play other games like that. I just played like SimCity 3000. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a couple exceptions now as I've gotten older. Like I've played like Frostpunk is a simulation city builder, but like with a strategy element to it. That's really good. But like I haven't played very many, so it's like I can't say that I love city building simulations because really the only ones that I've played are like SimCity. I've played a little City Skylines and like
City Skylines I
Frostpunk.
played a lot of, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I never played Frostpunk before.
Frostpunk's really good.
That sounds interesting.
It's
I put a lot of...
it's got more story behind it, so like you'll only play it for so long. It's not like a forever city simulation like City Skylines or SimCity. It's got city building elements to it, but it's got like sort of that role playing where like the world is freezing over basically, and you have to survive that. So it's more like a city building RPG. I almost want to say RPG. I think that's the best. I don't remember what they get described as like on Steam or whatever. I like it a lot.
That sounds interesting. I might have to look into that. I guess what I would say if I had to pinpoint, I'd say I always am a sucker for a big, here we go, clumping them all together, but a big action/adventure/RPG kind of game.
Right.
So obviously you talk about your Elder Scrolls and your Fallouts and other games in that world. Some are less RPG, some are more RPG, just kind of depends. I'm also a big fan of strategy RPGs. Specifically, lately I've been getting into a lot of old and new JRPGs, which some would argue is its own thing. Other people are now saying that that's something you can't say. I don't know if you've heard of that narrative yet, but that's a different story, I guess. I do think JRPGs have a very specific style to them. Funny enough, though,
yeah, Western RPGs and JRPGs just approach the RPG genre in such a weirdly different way. Like it's almost like intangible that like it's completely okay to say JRPG. JRPG became at some point in time kind of like a weird gaming genre slur because in the West, JRPG was not well regarded or well respected. But that's like such nonsense. Like, the idea that JRPGs are so beneath Western RPGs is such a Western mindset. Somebody
from Squaresoft, so, we're talking JRPG Central over there.
Right.
This was recently, I heard this. They, it was somebody higher up there. There was this interview, and they were talking about the history of that and how they don't want to be associated with JRPG. They're just an RPG, too. Right.
And that's because in the marketing, if they market themselves as a JRPG, they know that they're going to not sell as well because people don't search for JRPGs in the West. And the West, being the United States and parts of Europe, are like so big in video gaming. Like that's such a huge market and a very profitable market that if you slap JRPG on it, that market imagines a very specific kind of game. And they just will not look at it. Even if the game is right up someone's alley, if it has JRPG as a tag, nope, never mind. I don't want to look at it. It's such crap.
It's interesting how the different markets work. But yeah, I would say I've always enjoyed those even as a kid, and then I disappeared from them, then I've been getting back into them again. I want to get Octopath Traveler 2, but I'm not ready to put that sink that time into it because one thing that JRPGs are known for is that it's like they're like 80-hour games. So I just and that's not I'm just not ready for that, especially with Tears of the Kingdom coming. I'm going to wait and give my time to that. But anyway, I like those big games, kind of like that. I also love racing games, specifically arcade racers. I'm not a big fan of simulation racers. Like I'm not a big like Forza guy or a Gran Turismo. I like them, like they're fun. But if I'm going to sink some time, I really just kind of want it to be mindless racers. Not to be mistaken with kart racers. I know I'm a Nintendo boy, but I like Mario Kart, but I really more like arcade racers, which are different. But those are always fun. I'd still say my favorite series to this day, and they actually still make, there's a new one that came out a couple years ago, is the Cruisin' series. They used to be in arcades, hence the name Arcade Racer, I guess. But those cruising games are so much freaking fun. But they have a lot of other ones too.
Still, I'm sure they still make arcade games, probably in the East. Speaking of JRPGs, they probably arcades are still more popular in the East and less popular in the West. So I'm sure they still make arcade games. I would not be surprised.
Oh yeah, it's and they just released a new actual like console version of that game too, which is really cool. So. Yeah, I love that. There's really all kinds, but at the end of the day, it really boils down to mood. And I don't know about you, but if I'm like sitting down, it's Friday night, and I'm not in the middle of a game already, and I go, what kind of game do I want to play? I go genre first. Do you do that? Like I'm kind of in the mood to like just kind of free roam. Or I'm in the mood to have a story be told. Or do you ever, like, when you think about that, do you ever go that route when you're trying to pick a game to play?
A little bit. I'll either have a game in mind, and then I just play that game or whatever. Or I'll have a game kind in mind where, like, so for like tactics-based strategy games, I'll be thinking to myself, what do I own or can get a hold of that plays like XCOM? Right. I'll have a game in mind, and I'm like, what's similar to that? Especially as a PC gamer, I can go into Steam or whatever, and I can look up XCOM, and I can scroll down to games like this, and I can kind of browse through that. So usually, if it's not a genre where I'm looking for something specific, I'll be like, well, this is a game that I kind of want to play something like, and I'll look for games that are like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Steam's a great source. I
also own just so many games on Steam now over the years where, like, yeah, like that's a good source.
Right. Well, my library, because I've recently switched to PC gaming in the last year and a half, 2 years, and my library is starting to grow slowly, even though I swore it never would. It's so easy. It's so easy to fall in that trap. Before we switch segments over here, I do have another question.
Yeah.
What about genres of games that you just don't mesh with? Like you just, not for me.
Ooh, that's a good question. I do enjoy a fighter from time to time, but in general, fighters.
Yeah,
I like playing them like with friends every now and again, like some Virtua Fighter or something like that. That'll like Virtua Fighter 4, like back in the day. But like fighters, I don't play any of. I don't really play any racers anymore. I used to really be into the racing genre as a kid, not at all anymore.
Yeah, because you were a big Need for Speed fan for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time as a kid. Yeah, for sure. And that's probably the only genres I can think of off the top of my head that are like, nah, I don't really look for those. Maybe some of the like the realistic simulations that are like, Euro Trucker Simulator or whatever. No thanks.
Yeah, that's one thing. I do love the super, like, boring-ass simulators a lot. I love Lawn Mowing Simulator. I've got that on Steam. I love that game.
Which I have played one time, said it was really zen and cool, but then never played again. So
Right. We might have actually talked about it on the pod. But
it might have been.
Did I ever tell that? Did I ever tell that story about that? I was having, like... This was a different time for me. I was going through a rough patch, and I was feeling kind of sad, so I would have a long day at work at my old job, and then I'd come home, and it was late, and I'm just tired, and I didn't want to do anything but just mow the lawn. So I'd hop on Steam, and I would just play the lawn mowing simulator for a little bit. But I'd fall asleep, like, at the wheel.
Yeah, you did tell me about this.
Okay, so I don't know if I told it on the pod, but so quick thing. So I just got this new job, and I and I was really excited about it. And so it was like a big lawn. It looked great. And so here I go. I start to work. Well, I fell asleep at the wheel of the ride mower. Like I woke up and I didn't realize this, but like I drove over their flowers. Anyway, I kept going, but then I got a horrible score at the end because I drove over like their flower bed, and it just made me sad.
I do remember this. Yeah.
At the time, I was so disappointed because like my record was really good. Like I was a reputable like company, and then that just tarnished everything. But anyway, that's fun stuff. I would say for me, I want to clarify. This is a genre that I don't mesh well with, but I like. So, which is FPSs. I like playing FPSs, but I like playing FPS campaigns. When it's competitive, I'm bad and I get mad and I want to quit. And I don't have the patience to get good, as they say.
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you could really argue, I mean, you could say that competitive FPS versus just like a campaign are two different things. That's almost more action-adventure again, like we talked about. But But I was the guy who used to buy Call of Duty, and I'd play the campaign. Like, I would get it for the campaign, because I thought there were some great campaigns there. And then I would try online, and I was like, oh, nope, I'm out. So I wouldn't say I dislike shooters, because I do enjoy them. I played through a lot of the Halo games, too, and stuff, but I don't mesh well. I'm just not good competitively with it. I'm trying to think of another genre that I just don't... I'm really open to any genre.
I feel that because there's a lot of competitive shooters out now, something a la Valorant or Apex or even Overwatch anymore. I used to be really into FPSs for a very brief time. Not so much anymore, especially competitive shooters. Because I'm just not competitive anymore, so I don't have the hours in my day to dedicate to being good enough to be competitive. So they just don't have that appeal to me. So I feel that.
Yeah. The one game that I've in my life ever, like, competitive kind of game that I felt that I could really compete in, you know what I'm going to say, is Knockout City. And
gosh, I feel like I've gotten so bad at it now.
Well, I hate to bring it up to you right now, but have you heard the news?
No, what news?
I'm not making this up.
Is it shutting down?
I didn't want to tell you this way, but it's shutting down in June.
Wait, what? No, I haven't heard this yet. Is it really?
I was going to tell you in person, but I was trying to find the right time. I just found this out like about a week and a half ago.
In June?
Yeah. So listen.
That's so sad.
I can give you the recap. So first of all, there's still going to be a way to play it, a PC version, which is the only version I play anyway.
Yeah.
But they're shutting the servers down, but they're gonna still have there's gonna be like a private server version of the game that you can still play. Okay. So, which is that's better than nothing. But yeah. I wanted to tell you this. I didn't think I was going to tell you this right now, but I think you and I we got to figure out what day that is, because they have it all planned out. They're giving away a bunch of stuff. It's like a big celebration goodbye thing, which makes, by the way, I'm really sad about it. But I've already done my grieving and my processing, so that's why I don't sound like I don't care. But I actually do, because I love Knockout City.
Yeah, that's so sad.
You and I should do a goodbye Knockout City stream and stream until the server shut down.
Oh my gosh! Okay, yeah, if we can coordinate that, yes, we should.
I really think we should, just to celebrate it, because you and I played it a couple times together, and you and I usually don't play competitive games together, but I'd like to do that. And we need to get some sessions in before it's over for good anyway.
Yeah, I always wanted to get really
sad.
Dedicate myself to being like really good at that game, and I never really got that crazy good or whatever, or got that far in the league, but like I really loved playing that game.
It's so good, and I felt so good playing it. It's because it's one of those things. It's easy to learn but difficult to master sort of situation.
Yeah.
And
it's like a third-person competitive shooter. It doesn't have guns, but it's dodgeball. But it's like a third-person competitive shooter, if it was a genre.
Yeah, how do you describe it to somebody? Because it's dodgeball. It kind of has, art style-wise, it's kind of Fortnite-y, but like vibe-wise, it's like 50s rock and roll.
Yeah.
Aesthetic, but like the graphics, maybe is a better way to put it. The graphics kind of look Fortnite-like to me. They're not realistic. It's very colorful and
cartoony,
sort of thing.
That kind of thing going on. Yeah.
And I don't know, just it was so good. I think you introduced me to it, and I've loved it. And I lied to you. I do play it somewhere else. I play it on my Switch. It's so great on the Switch. I took it on a vacation with us one year. I guess it was a couple years ago now. And we were at the beach, and I just couldn't be out in that hot frickin' sun being a ginger. So I brought my Switch out there, and I was connected to like a hotspot on my phone, and I was just playing, Knockout City on the beach. It was awesome. Great memory. It's a great game. I will definitely miss it.
I hadn't heard that it was closing down. That's crazy.
I'm so sorry to tell you here.
I know. I need a minute.
Well, listen, I'm going to give you a minute. We're going to take a break, and when we return, Weston, you and I, we're going to take some elements from old games and make new ones.
Oh, okay.
What's that mean? I guess we're going to find out in a second. We'll be right back.
I have to go grieve.
Well, you've got 10 seconds. All right. Profoundish is brought to you in part by The Jam and Chat. Every week, I host a show with live music, interactive games, and more. But here's the catch. The live music is improvised on the spot based on funny song topics you leave in the chat feed. So come join the fun. You can search Jam and Chat on YouTube or go to alexduquette.net.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by Magic Man Mo, a gaming YouTube channel run by me. We stream and we do variety Let's Plays. Check out a short stream compilation to see if it's something that you're going to be into. It's a lot of fun. I made it, so I know. That's Magic Man Mo on YouTube.
We are back. Thank you for listening. Weston and I just kind of grieved together. I gave him a shoulder to cry on.
I've been
hard.
crying.
He's been crying. I actually told him, you got like 1 second to grieve. He's like, ah! And then he got all of his emotions out in that.
It was a pretty powerful second.
It was. It definitely was. So, Weston, I'm pretty excited here. So, the game we're going to be playing today is kind of similar to our Snake Oil improv game, like we did with Flagpole Pig, the podcast one.
Oh, we did do that.
We did a live stream version of that, too, which was also fun. And so what I thought we could do today is, so I asked him to do this before we recorded right now. What we both have is a list of... We have 3 separate lists of 4 popular video games. And what we're going to do is a similar system to what we did with the Snake Oil game. So we're going to pick a number out of 1 to... You pick 3 numbers out of the 4. And then from those 3, what you'll have to do is pick 2 of those. And what you're going to have to do, so I don't want to give any examples just in case one of us have it, but there's 2 things you're going to have to pull from both of these games to make a new game. You're going to be taking the gameplay from one and the art style / atmosphere / that thing, the visuals.
The world.
The world, right, that sort of thing from the other game. And then you're going to pitch me a new game. So, but to add a little extra chaos, we have the random video game name generator as well. So what'll happen is, just to really make it spicy, because you and I are the improv boys. So,
okay.
Once those are polled, as you're thinking, I'm going to generate a name for you on the spot. And then you're going to have to keep that in mind as you pitch me your new game. Does that make sense?
I like it. Yes, we will have 3 video games to choose from. We'll take 2 of them, 1 for the mechanics, 1 for the sort of world and atmosphere, but we have to pitch it under the name that the other gives us, based on a random name generator.
Yes, that's correct. Are you ready?
This is good. I like it. This is going to be weird.
I know. I thought so, too. The name generator part was kind of a last-minute addition today, and I thought, ooh, this is a good idea. This will make it really spicy. So who wants to go first?
I don't know. Do we need to flip a coin? Do we need to fight to the death?
I don't know if we want to fight to the death, because then we can't do the podcast anymore. How about we just fight each other to a bloody pulp, but we're still alive?
Okay, let's do that. Which one of us would win in a fight?
Honestly, I think it depends on how much we had to drink. I think if...
I've had 7 shots, and you have had 1 Bloody Mary.
I think you'd kick my ass. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
I just feel like your confidence would just be boosted so high, and you're just going to just
true.
Be relentless. And I won't be drunk enough, so I'll just be too nervous. Because, like, this is my friend. I can't do this. You know?
You're
and
right.
then I'm not going to be able to commit.
You're right. My power only accelerates with more booze. So, like, actually, I gave myself an advantage. I didn't mean to do that.
How about this? I'm going to choose. I made up this little game here. I'm going to have you pitch to me first.
Okay, let's do it.
So I need you to give me 3 numbers between 1 and 4.
Okay.
And I will give you your 3 games that you can choose from. Remember, you just have to choose 2 because you have to pull the gameplay from one game, the atmosphere, world, kind of art style, whatever you want to define that as, from the second game, and then I'll give you that title as well.
Okay. So I got to pick 3. Let's do 1, 3, and 4.
Great. All right. So here are the games you can choose from to make your new game.
Yes.
We have Minecraft.
Okay.
Doom, specifically the newer Dooms. Like the
the reboot.
Mm-hmm. The Doom reboots. And then Goat Simulator. Those are 3 games that you can pick from.
Goat Simulator. Okay. Do I have to hear the name first, or do I have to combine the games first?
What do you think? I think you should hear the name first, right?
This is your game,
or should you combine the game
These are your
first?
rules. These are your rules, man.
You know what? You know what? That would make it even more insane. Pick the games first.
Okay. I want to do. So I've got the reboot Doom, I've got Minecraft, and I've got Goat Simulator. I have to go Minecraft, Goat Simulator, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the mechanics of one or the atmosphere of the other yet. Do I need to pick that? Or do I get to hear the name first?
I'll give you the name now.
Okay.
I think that's a good order of doing it. So here you go. So you got Minecraft and Goat Simulator.
Yes.
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage? What is this? Okay, well, this has to absolutely be... Okay, no... You know what? I was thinking it needed to be the... Oh, this is actually tricky. I think it needs to be the mechanics of Minecraft, but the world of Goat Simulator, because otherwise the world of Minecraft is like too lonely for blood. What was it? Blood Rage?
Blood Rage. Yeah.
Because in the world of Goat Simulator, there's like more people that are like random physics-based rag dolls or whatever. So this has to be the world of Goat Simulator, filled with a bunch of random dudes and women that like just freaking don't know how life works, and just random like physics doesn't make any sense. Towers and cranes and people gathering doesn't make any sense. But the mechanics are Minecraft. We have to go around and like it's blood rage, right? So you're like this. You're playing as this blood rage cult goat, right? Cult goat. That's really hard to say.
Cult goat.
Yeah, you gotta play as a cult goat. And you go around punching people and creating like flesh tools to create these weird sort of like fleshy... I'm actually kind of weirdly incorporating Doom by accident into this. You have to kind of like incorporate...
Bonus points.
Yeah, bonus points. All 3 in one. You have to incorporate all of this sort of weird sort of like cultish like fleshy like... tools and crafting into these like objects that you go around, and because it's like the mechanics of Minecraft, you can like build this world around a rage-induced blood mechanic like crafting simulator, but with people just being freaking crazy. I like it.
I would try this game.
I don't even know if that made any sense to describe whatsoever. I don't know if that made any sense at all.
You had me going at first when you said, you're this demonic, or maybe it wasn't demonic. You're a cult goat, is what you said.
Right, you're a cult goat, and because it's the physics of Minecraft. You imagine like blocks and squares, and you mine one block, and then there's another block. So everything's like block based. That's like the mechanics, but the world. Goat Simulators. The physics are like screwed. Like you mine up like a piece of dirt or whatever, and things just start flying. You know what I mean?
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage.
And what's it rated?
Rated T.
Yeah.
It's definitely T. The reason for that is because blood and rage. You know what I mean? Like it would be E, but there's a bunch of like blood.
Yeah.
like people and animals are like exploding, right? Like you're mining up some like random gravel from out of like a seabed or something like that, and then all of a sudden there's like people showing up and exploding. It's like ridiculous.
And the reason why it's not M is because it doesn't look like Doom or something, right? I mean, it looks like Goat Simulator, so so I totally get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Blood Rage. That was pretty good, because I know this was going to be kind of wild with all the elements you have to play with. So I think that was pretty good.
And the idea is like Minecraft style, right? You have to like work your way to the end, but instead of getting to the end, you're like heading to the goat, like to the goat world, like, you know, and you got to go fight the ultimate goat dragon.
Goat dragon actually sounds kind of awesome.
We call him the Gragon.
The Gragon. Release the Gragon.
Release the Gragon.
Just echoes. Oh, that's good. All right. Not bad for your first one.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I feel like this is going to be hard.
This is weird. Like, you have to pitch a game based on this is weird. Yeah. Someone out there, game developers that are definitely listening to this podcast right now, make this happen. I'll play your game jam.
Make these happen. He'll do it.
I'll do it.
All right. I'm going to pick for yours.
Okay. Yes. I have a list.
I'm just going to do a straight. I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to do a 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4? Okay. Yeah. I've got, because I had to put on this list, I've got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Okay.
I've got Infamous.
Okay.
And I've got Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay. Okay, so this is pretty reasonable. I actually know very little about Infamous. Is that Infamous Second Son? Is that the same game?
I was thinking the Infamous, the like original game. But like,
okay, but it's that
Second Son is the same genre. It's part of the same series. Yeah. Okay.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with Need for Speed and Cyberpunk. The only game I've played out of these is Need for Speed, but we can make this work.
This is perfect because your random title is Naughty Chocobo Runner.
What the heck?
Chocobo. Naughty Chocobo Runner. A chocobo, I happen to know
what's
this.
That?
A chocobo is that weird sort of like ostrich/chicken thing that you can ride in Final Fantasy. If you're familiar with the Final Fantasy series at all, it's a fantasy-based series.
Oh.
It's like a chicken kind of ostrich thing that you ride around.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Naughty Chocobo Runner.
No, spell naughty.
Naughty.
Okay,
naughty.
So it's naughty. Okay.
Naughty.
That's what I thought. So Naughty Chocobo Runner.
I feel like this game title kind of cheats a little bit because it just threw Final Fantasy into the mix.
It did, but I'm just thinking of the Chocobo here. So we got. Oh, geez, this is not easy. I mean, I like hearing the word.
You've got Need for Speed in there, so you already have a racer in the game.
Runner, runner's in the title. Okay, let me think here. So we got Need for Speed, and then we got Cyberpunk. So I guess I'm going to take that. You know what the problem is, though? I don't know anything about Infamous. I hate to do this. I would take the mechanics from Need for Speed.
Yes.
But I really don't know much about the world of Cyberpunk. So I'm just going to kind of see how this goes. This is going to be I'm just going to call this just kind of a standard racing game when you're on. Well, but I don't know how to do this. I made this up, but I don't know how to do this, man. How about this? This is going to be weird. Naughty Chocobo Runner. So what this whole game is about is you're running away. So you're in your vehicle running away from horny chocobos.
Okay.
So the idea, so it's not just, it's got a lot of the same elements. So it's got the racing, and I know there's, you can do like the cops. Does that one have the cops and robbers?
It does.
In it? Okay, because I remember doing that a lot growing up. So instead of it being kind of like a cops and robbers thing, it's basically you and a chocobo. And you're trying to get away from the chocobo who really wants your car, and it's just, you see this giant heart behind it, and you're just trying to get away from it as quickly as you can.
You're not riding the chocobo. You're like trying to escape it.
Trying to escape horny. The chocobo. Yeah, because it's horny, exactly. And you don't know what it's going to do to your car. So you're just driving through this world, through this city, to keep away from the chocobo. It's like a $5 Steam game. However, the world that you're in, there's a lot of neon lights. It's a futuristic world, and the chocobos. I say that word chocobo. The chocobos are part. What's it called? They're part cyborg.
Like cyborg, yeah.
So just to add that little extra element there and kind of really give that aesthetic.
So maybe like some of them have like abilities or something.
Some of them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. You're helping, and I appreciate it. But yeah, some have special abilities that others may not have, just depending on the level that you're in, what part of town that you're in. But they all have one thing in common, and it's that they're horny, and they want your car. And some could shoot lasers. Some could maybe, if they by chance cut in front of you, they could spill a little bit of oil, and it makes you slip, or whatever. There's a lot of, or at least we think it's oil. They're horny. It's there's a lot of different options that it could be to kind of keep it fresh. But that's what it would be. That's Naughty Chocobo Runner.
I want to play this game. I want to put it on my YouTube channel. I want to play this. This sounds
Game
hilarious.
devs, once again.
Once again, we call for you for help. We need you. This is your time
to rise.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Naughty Chocobo Runner. Good lord. I mean, I'd play it too.
Especially if it's a $5 game. I mean, that's a steal, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm imagining like Temple Run, like on phone.
Man, I got into Temple Run back in the day. Man, that was the only mobile game I ever played. And Temple Run is like, nobody knows Temple Run now if you're under the age of 20, probably. But
yeah, but that
boy,
was the crap. That was the thing back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So, by the way, that game, I don't know how they got away with it, but it's rated E10+.
So you know that even if you fail and you get caught by the chocobo, nothing crazy's happening. I would have loved to see this game rated AO for like adult only, so that like if you fail, the chocobo like goes to town on your car. You know what I'm saying?
I'm willing to change this rating. Our game devs just have, we just have to be comfortable with, really being just there for a select market. But
that's the price of failure is a weird chicken thing going to absolute town on your car.
Or we can compromise on an M rating and have like what the M rating would be is it goes to like you're in the car. Like it shows, like the camera's looking at the driver in the car, and the car's just shaking back and forth, and the driver's like, get me out of here! That could be like a compromise.
Traumatizing. This is like a horror game.
As the chocobo is just trying to impregnate your vehicle.
Oh, God.
However that means. I don't even know if chocobos, did they have genders?
I'm not a Final Fantasy player. I don't really know. I assume so? Question mark? I don't know.
Okay, so you know what I just realized? This might be just like a JRPG thing, because they're also in Dragon Quest, apparently.
Oh, I didn't play Dragon Quest. I know it exists, but I don't know much about it.
So I wonder if that's like just a Japanese thing. I don't know.
Maybe. I assume, like, I'm pretty sure chocobos are in Final Fantasy, and I didn't make that up. Okay.
No, I see both. Yeah, I see both.
Okay.
I don't know.
I wonder, are they the same publisher or the same developer, maybe? That can't be
Dragon
right.
Quest.
I don't know.
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it might be a Japanese thing. Chocobo? I don't know.
Dragon Quest was made by...
Because they're both Eastern RPGs, so JRPGs, so maybe.
Yeah, they're both Square.
They're both Square? Yeah, maybe they just, had that in both games. Yeah, I've heard about Dragon Quest. I know a little bit of it from outside, but I never played any of it. I really don't know much about Dragon Quest.
Me neither. All right. You ready for your next?
I am. And last time I did 1, 3, 4. I feel like this time I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. All right, we have. I'm not going to specify this. I'm just going to say GTA. Okay.
Okay.
Mario Party.
Interesting.
And Knockout City.
Hey, Knockout City.
Hey.
Hey. Okay. You didn't specify a specific GTA, just any old GTA.
I guess what I'll say is like, I'll just say GTA 5. I'll just say GTA 5.
GTA 5, Knockout City, and what was it? It was Mario Party, right?
And Mario Party. Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of incorporating Mario Party because you can have a bunch of like party mini games involved, like mechanically. Now I'm not settling on it for mechanically, but I like the idea. So what if we have the world? You know what?
And remember, you don't have to pick right now. You just have to pick your 2.
Yes.
So
I'm trying to set myself up for success here. I think I am going to go with Mario Party and Knockout City. I'm going to avoid the Grand Theft Auto on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your name, your game name is going to be Dragon Theft.
Okay, no, this is great because that could be I love the mechanics of Mario Party, right? This is going to be like a board game based party games thing, but in the world of like that sort of neon 50s Knockout City, but with dragons. And the idea is, so like in Mario Party where you have to like get stars, you're trying to steal dragons from different mini games, right? They don't want to be yours, right? You have to go around the board and steal dragons from certain mini games, but in a sort of neon 50s, like sort of mafioso style way, right?
What a weird vibe. Okay.
I like it a lot. Like you come in like, hey boss, bada big, bada boom. I'm gonna get your dragon.
Bada big, bada boom.
I gotta climb the vine faster than the other guys in this multiplayer game or whatever. I'm gonna go around the board and get all the dragons. And then when you get to the end, if there's 4 players playing or whatever, someone's got like 4 dragons, someone's got like 2 dragons or whatever. But then like this weird toad guy comes out. He's like, "Hey, whoever moves the most gets an extra dragon just because I say so."
You're really honing in on these Mario Party mechanics.
This is just a Mario Party knockoff game, but in the vibe, like completely just unrepentantly, right? No shame, Mario Party knockoff game, but in the vibe of Knockout City and dragons.
For some reason, I don't know why, but like the 1950s thing with the dragons kind of works, and I can't explain why.
I really am. I'm imagining more neon. Do you remember Dragon City, the Facebook game?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Where you had this is just me playing Facebook games back in the day. But you went through and you collected like eggs, and you had hatcheries, and you put them in their hatcheries, and you'd grow these dragons, and then you breed dragons and get different eggs, and you'd have this like whole swarm of dragons that you'd use to like fight each other or whatever. I'm imagining that, but with more neon.
More neon. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at it now. This still exists. You can still play Dragon City if you'd like.
I can't imagine it's as good as it used to be. I got my nostalgia glasses on right now, man.
Nothing ever is.
2000 and like I don't know 8 Facebook. Like that was it. It might have been older than 2008. I mean, younger than 2008. It might be like 2010, but still.
Oh, the Facebook games days. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm literally stealing Mario Party, but with dragons.
Do it. I like it. Mario Party with dragons. What's it rated? E? T?
Oh, this is definitely E. Any violence in the game is just so cartoonishly out there that it's just not taken seriously. I'm imagining E, rated E. Anybody can play this. There's like an Easter egg Spyro in there somewhere.
Well, there has to be. Right, you're just stealing from all kinds of companies now.
Obviously, like at this point, I'm just like speed running, getting sued, like getting a lawsuit.
That's good. I like it. Dragon Theft.
Yes.
All right. I'll pull from yours here. Let me do. Give me a 135.
134. I assume.
Oh,
it's only 4.
I don't know why I did that. Yeah, give me a 134. Sorry.
All right, we've got Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
We've got God of War, the like newer one, not Ragnarok, but the reboot God of War. And speaking of the devil, Spyro the Dragon.
So you said the new God of Wars,
Yes.
right? Like that, like those. Okay. How can I incorporate Spyro in God of War? Okay, I'm going to pick those two, Spyro and God of War.
Spyro and God of War. Your randomly generated title. This kind of works. Arctic Syndrome.
Arctic Syndrome. Ooh. Okay.
You've got some Arctic there with the God of War, actually. This could work. What are you thinking?
I was going to say, I admittedly, once again, sadly, haven't played that. I want to. But I know a lot of it does it looks like it takes place where it's cold.
Yeah. It's based on the Norse mythology, whereas the originals were Greek.
Right, okay. So I like... Right, and I played the OG ones. I like the idea of like a gritty. What's it called again? Sorry, that syndrome. What syndrome?
Arctic Syndrome.
Arctic Syndrome. Okay. I like the idea of kind of a grittier, nitty gritty, like older Spyro. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the mechanics of God of War.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess we're going to keep the atmosphere of Spyro. So I guess it can't be nitty gritty because it's the atmosphere. What if I switch that?
That would be
I'm
a
thinking
lot
out
more
loud.
whimsical. Yeah.
Let me
spice
this up. I changed it around. I was talking out loud. I was talking quicker than I was thinking.
Sure.
Let me take the gameplay from God of War. No, I already said that. Gameplay of Spyro and put it in God of War.
Let me just
Sorry.
say the same thing, but
Let me say
again.
the same thing again. Gameplay from Spyro.
Okay.
And then put it in God of War.
I like that's like Spyro's gameplay is actually relatively simplistic, but with the seriousness of God of War.
Exactly. So basically, you are playing as Spyro.
Okay.
But you're in this Arctic world. You know what, Wes? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm confusing myself so freaking bad. How do you do this?
That's for you to decide.
I'm asking how you do it. Like, when I give you yours, you can nail these.
I play games. I play games on a whole like YouTube channel, man. This is what I do. It's just video games.
This has nothing to do with games. This is improv. I'm the improv guy, and I can't do this. I'm getting caught up on myself. I'm so sorry.
No, you can do this. You're thinking too hard about it. Let your brain relax.
Okay.
Let your brain go. Open your third eye, the one right in between your like thighs, and just like think about it. Yeah, that one.
The third eye thighs.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
think with deep inside yourself right now.
That here's what I really want.
Okay.
What's you're Kratos. You're not Spyro. You're Kratos.
Oh, okay,
right.
okay.
Because it's the Spyro gameplay. So, you're Kratos, but instead of this being this nitty-gritty, cold world that you're in, and I believe you're with your son, it's still you and your son, but it's much more happy, fun father-son times. And it's also like a really big, sprawling, like 3D platforming game. But it's icy. So you're running around with your son, and a lot of it's like cooperative. So this is actually a co-op game if you'd like for it to be.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, there's a lot of fun music. You have to go around. You have to collect different things you find out in the Arctic wilderness. So you have to collect snow. You have to collect ice flakes, snowflakes. That sounds too lame. You have to collect ice shards. That's better.
Okay.
You have to collect ice shards, and after you collect enough ice shards, you can get on to the next level or unlock new places of the world. So it's kind of just your run-of-the-mill 3D platformer, but you play as this Greek god and your son.
What's the syndrome?
Arctic Syndrome's actually the name of the antagonist in the game. So
Ooh.
Arctic Syndrome is the name of the person that you have to fight at the end. So once you go
Okay.
through all of these levels, you face Arctic Syndrome, which is just all of the bad elements that come with cold outside winter stuff. So you get blizzards thrown at you, ice thrown at you, evil snowmen, just it's more of an idea, it's a concept, but it's all constructed by Arctic Syndrome himself.
What a twist that the game is not named after the protagonist, but actually the villain. That's
Isn't that
crazy.
interesting?
Ooh,
I know.
I like it. All right. All right.
It is rated teen because there's a little bit of edgy language.
Imagine
everything
just
else is pretty-
Spyro's
pretty-
like going through like in Spyro, right? Like he's playing through, he's like fighting bulls or whatever, and like he gets hit and he's like, God damn it, Sparks.
You know what? Thank you for giving me that boost of confidence because I ended up doing it. I just
you did
needed
it.
to open up the third eye in my thighs,
Yeah.
and I did it.
Your thigh
So,
eyes.
I think I don't know why I just kept getting tripped up. I was thinking there's too many elements. There's a name. There's games here.
Your inner perfectionism was coming out and you wanted to nail it. And I'm like, don't worry about nailing it.
Hey, Weston, let's not psychoanalyze right now, okay?
Okay,
I don't
okay.
need that. I'm just kidding. Because
right,
you're
no.
right.
Never mind. You were doing great. It was in you all along. We're not going to dive into that.
You're not going to dive into to the real issues here. That's right. No, that was good. All right. Game devs, work on this too. Just make me feel better, please. Thank you. All right. We got your final set here. You ready?
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Oh boy. All right. So we've got Guitar Hero,
Ooh, rhythm game.
Smash. We'll just say really any Smash game. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Smash, and then Stardew Valley.
Oh. You know what? I want to do something with Stardew Valley. I have played a tiny bit of that game, actually. But actually, I really like the idea of combining Smash and Guitar Hero somehow. So I'm going to go with those two.
Okay.
Guitar Hero and Smash. What's the one I've played? I think it's Melee. Let's do Guitar Hero, 4, and Smash. Melee. Let's do it.
Melee's the best one, so that's good. All right, let me pull this back up here. Okay. Interesting. Your name is Hunt of Freedom.
You know what? I'm just imagining. Okay, this has to be. Oh, this is interesting. How do I combine these? I'm imagining the mechanic. I think this is it. This has to be a rhythm game. All right. I'm deciding that this is the mechanics of a Smash game, where all the music and all the songs are these like really like just freaking hard hitting freedom songs, right? Like just the most America F yeah songs you can think of, right? Right. In the world of a fighting game like Smash, where you are playing these songs and fighting for freedom. Like, right? We are existing in a tyrannical future. This is a post-apocalyptic future America, by the way, where like the red commies have taken over or something, right? Like something like like a post-apocalypse that was like just like thought of in like the 50s or something. Like the commies are going to take over. That happened, but now we're bringing freedom back. God dang it. God bless America. But you're doing it through rhythm and music and soul, right?
Right.
What was the name of this game?
Wow. Hunt of Freedom.
Hunt of Freedom. Yeah. So you're through these songs, like, right? Like you're blasting away, like play the guitar or whatever. And you're hunting for what are these like communist leaders to like take them out, and finding new like leaders to like take up position to like lead the people to freedom, Right? That's like what's going on in the background.
Wow.
In the background, like normally in Guitar Hero, you're like playing guitar, like you're smashing the buttons. You can see the people on stage doing their thing. But like imagine instead, kind of like that weird in Guitar Hero 4 where you're like on the tour bus or whatever and like it's like moving and like things are like flying by you or whatever. But instead it's like an actual revolution of people fighting the communism. Like a full-out revolutionary war is happening.
What a weird concept. Because it's a rhythm game.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Freedom
just playing
to the
your way to
rhythm.
freedom.
Yes. That's my game.
That's probably my favorite one so far. What's it rated?
This is rated like M. Like there's murder, there's blood, there's people like swearing in the background. There's like straight up like sexual scenes happening. Like you can't see everything, so it's still M, not AO or whatever. Like the grittiest crap is going on in the background. The player probably won't see most of it because they're too busy focused on like the hard hitting rhythm that they got to keep up with. But like in the background, all of this is absolutely happening.
Well, there you have it. Game devs, get on it. Hunt of Freedom. Put this on your priority list, please.
Oh my gosh,
that's good.
I want to play this.
You could. I would. Out of all these so far, I definitely want to play that. That'd be fun, even just to watch, like with your friends, like.
Yeah,
while your friends got their guitar sitting on the couch, like you're not bored waiting to be the next one to play. You can just see what's going on the screen. They're kicking butt.
I want to see my friends being good at this game. I don't have to be good at it. I need someone else to be good. This is a perfect streaming game. Streamers can play this, and people watching are just like mind blown by what's going on. They don't even have to be a part of it to be a part of it.
Wow, I like it. Hunt of Freedom. Dang, man.
Hunt of Freedom. F yeah.
I think that takes the cake so far. We got one. I got one chance here to see if I can beat that one out. Let's see. Give me. I'm just gonna do a 1, 2, 3 again. Give me a 1, 2, 3.
You've got yourself Crash Bandicoot, Super Mario Kart, and SimCity 3000.
Okay. I'm glad you picked 3000 because that's the best one.
Yes, specifically 3000. And for the Mario Karts, specifically Super Mario Kart, the one for the SNES.
Right. Oh, okay.
Because that's the one that I know, and the last one that I was good at.
And that's okay.
All this random drifting nonsense is for the birds.
Oh, it's so good. I think 8. I never thought I'd say this because I love old games, but I think 8's the best Mario Kart.
It looks good. So I've played it. I hate Rainbow Road, and I don't know how to drift, so I'm bad at it. So
yeah, if you don't know how to drift now, you basically have to know how to drift if you want to be at all competitive at that.
Correct,
game.
And I'm not.
So I'm gonna say Mario Kart and SimCity, and I'm gonna see SimCity 3000. And I'm gonna see what title you give me.
All right, your random title. What is this? Okay, this kind of works. I think you could do this. Your title is Turbo Octopus Girl.
Okay.
Man, where's Splatoon when you need it?
I know, right? That'd be funny. Turbo Octopus Girl. Well, this sounds like an anime. That's what this sounds like.
It really does.
All right, so I said SimCity and Mario Kart.
SimCity 3000 and Super Mario Kart. This is Turbo Octopus Girl. Go.
All right, let me think here for a second. Because, like, one might sound obvious because there's turbo in the title, so I could...
Yeah.
So I could use the gameplay, the mechanics from Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I don't have to, though, because...
You don't have to.
The world of Mario Kart, even the original one on the SNES, there's a lot there in terms of the world. A lot of different worlds, a lot of colors, a lot of tracks, really bright, a lot of characters. And then SimCity's, well, it's just nothing and it becomes a city. But I just don't know. You know what? I think we're going to have to keep it simple and just go with my gut. I mean, the title is laid right out there in front of me, so never mind. I'm going to say, taking the mechanics from Mario Kart.
For sure.
And then the world, the atmosphere, the feel, not really the feel, but the atmosphere of SimCity 3000. So, Turbo Octopus Girl. What's this game? Well, I'm going to do my best to tell you. So, Turbo Octopus Girl is a racing game that takes place so here's how it works. So, it's a racing game, but what you're doing is you're racing a city that's being built.
Oh,
and your idea is to get through the entire city before it's built in front of you. So you're trying to go past the city. Did I describe that correctly? I'm trying to think if I described that.
It's like literally building itself around you. Like residential districts are going down, industrial districts are going from farmland into like nuclear power plants or something.
That's exactly right. And you're trying to drive your way. You're trying to get out before it encompasses you. And on top of that, you're also racing others as well, and they're all octopus girls. So you can customize your character. That's fine. You can make them look however you want. You can choose your cart and all that stuff. But it's nothing but super fast octopus girls who are trying to get in your way and stop you. But all at the same time, a city is being built around you, and you're trying to get out. So there's two elements you got to worry about: the city and swallowing you whole. Then also these octopus girls trying to kick your butt. Rated E, but that is Turbo Octopus Girl.
I like the idea of a city being built around you by some like benevolent god doing a city builder or whatever, and you have to like race through it. I think it's interesting that you have to like escape the city though, as you describe it.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get like back to like the sea, like to the ocean, or? Well,
the idea, because mechanically speaking, it's like Mario Kart, so you can't stay in one place too long. There's multiple levels, so you go through different cities, and each city can be maybe like regionally different. So you could be driving through an American city. The next level is like a European city, and so on and so forth. So it's level based, and that's why you're trying to get out. There's no deeper thing behind it besides just it's a level.
Are there like procedurally generated parts of each level? Because that would be crazy where like no map is ever the same each time.
That would be cool. I don't know how. God, that would probably be a powerhouse of a game, right?
It would be.
Goodness gracious, that'd be cool though. Yeah, each time it's a little different because like maybe there's like multiple like. Because let's assume that the tracks are already built, like the roads are already laid out or something like that, right? And then, like, if and you can take different routes each time to get out. So, like, you can, it's different parts of the city being built around you, and that'd be interesting. That's an interesting thought.
That's an idea. I like it.
There's Turbo Octopus Girl.
That was an interesting one to try to like pitch, like in a way that like these are the two concepts I'm trying to put together, especially with the world of Super Mario Kart, with its sort of more bright colors and like sort of cartoony, like rounded graphics almost or whatever.
Yeah. So that's I would say my favorite of yours is Hunt of Freedom.
Hunt of Freedom is that's pretty good. We have to admit that's pretty good.
No, I think Hunt of Freedom is that's Game of the Year material. I'm just gonna say
released on
Jeff
July
Keighley,
4th,
if you're listening to this,
2023.
Yeah. What if it becomes like an American like staple? Like everybody like on 4th of July, everyone like goes over to Grandma's house, they pull out Hunt of Freedom, plug it in.
That'd be amazing. The opening song you have to play is just like "God Bless America,"
but it's like a hard rock version.
Oh heck yeah, it would be.
Oh yeah! It's got all these like I just picture like, you know what I mean. I love it. Well, that was fun. I always love the improv games, and I wanted to bring it back in a fun, interesting way. Listen, Weston, one more time, thank you. Right in the middle there, I had a breakdown on that second matchup, but you pulled me out of it, and that's what friends do. You
had that self-doubt for a moment, but like
I did.
I'm just here to tell you that you don't need to worry about that, man. I'm here for you. You had it in yourself all along.
I did, and I pulled it right out. Just had to. What'd you say? I had to look at my third eye.
You had to open your third eye between
third eye
your thighs.
Yeah, the third eye between my thighs. Well, we have certainly overstayed our welcome after saying that. This was fun, Weston. Where can people find you on the internet?
I've got a website, westonhasty.com. It's a landing page for all of the things that I do. Follow my gaming channel on YouTube called Magic Man Mo, my poetry blog at hastilymadedecision.com, or say hi to me on Twitter at Weston Hasty or Instagram at Weston Hasty.
Tell him hi on Twitter. He will. He might say hi back.
I could.
Depends on the mood that he's in.
Yeah.
All depends on his mood. You can check me out at alexduquette.net. Everything I have is there. I'm primarily a musician, so you can check out all my music. You can buy my CD. I have a CD out, which is pretty cool, called Songs from Sangamon Street. You can also stream that. I also do TV show theme song medleys. Those are also there. So everything's right there, so feel free to check that out, alexduquette.net. And Weston, you got to close it, buddy.
You've been listening to Profoundish. Feel free to give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, a 5 stars, or whatever it is you can do. It helps us a lot. Also, follow us on our social media at Profoundish Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's kind of it. Profoundish.
That is kind of it. Profoundish. We love hearing from you. Give us all those ratings. That does mean a whole lot. And tell us nice things. Only nice.
If you want to say bad things, go to my Twitter, the Weston Hasty one. You can say bad things over there.
You can say bad things over there, and then Weston, in a drunken rage, will respond to each and every single one of you.
This is true.
If you send it to mine, I probably won't see it, and you know what I mean. It'll just shoot out there into the void. So send it to Weston.
Yeah. If you got negative things to say, go get in a social media fight with me.
Or if you want to tell me something mean on Twitter, only do it when I'm currently promoting something, because then I am on Twitter. So if I'm promoting something, you just put it under that, like, hey, I'm doing a jam and chat. You can put it under there. Hey, Alex, it's really stupid when you do this. Then I'll see it.
There you go.
There's my advice.
You know your mission now, everybody. You have your homework.
This is going to be like the only time that like we get like a ton of engagement, and it's just horrible things people are saying to us.
You know what? I hope so. I look forward to it.
You know what? Bring it on. America, we're out.
Hunt of freedom.